Good morning, New York. Welcome to Voices 2023. My name is Martin.
And I'm Lara.
And thank you. Thank you indeed, Communicators. Thanks for being here today, and thanks for being part of our community. Now, being part of that community for more than 8 years now, I feel that we are at an inflection point. 3 months ago, I attended the recent launch of the Edelman Trust Barometer. So that's the most comprehensive research on who people trust. They do this for more than 20 years now. And over the past years, they actually already found declining trust in authorities. Now this year, there was a very special, actually stunning result. So it turns out that the most trusted media outlet these days is not the New York Times, it's not CNN, it's the humble employee newsletter. So today, Lara, we actually have the opportunity of speaking to some of the most influential and trusted journalists in America.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we do. You could say it's a big day for us,
Yes.
But with great power comes great responsibility. So we're glad that you've invested the time to join us here today, put in the effort to be here. It's been a busy year for communicators. We think there's a lot of new post-COVID changes and challenges that we're trying to address. So in our keynote today, we're going to talk a little bit about that landscape, some of those new challenges and changes, and also hopefully give you a glimpse into how we're innovating to help you rise to meet those challenges.
Exactly. This is why we are in New York today, because we are really passionate about your work and how we can support it. We have a core belief at Staffbase, which is communications moves people and people move companies. We believe comms is super powerful. And we are honored to be part of the great work you do every day. Now there's this thing with internal communications, right? It's internal, so you can't see it from outside. This is why it's so important for us to meet, to exchange ideas, and to learn from each other as a community. We at Staffbase are super happy to provide you with that community and to actually further drive the community and to bring you together. So just a couple of weeks ago, we launched Staffbase Campus. It's an on-demand learning platform for communicators. It's free to sign up, and we already had more than 600 people taking courses and growing. Last year, we started Comms Club. This is a tour across 19 cities, and we will bring it back this year, actually traveling 25 cities worldwide. I'm pretty sure one of them is close by to where you live, so looking forward to see you there. And finally, our favorite, we launched our award-winning podcast, Infernal Communication. So hands up, who has listened to that podcast? Oh yeah, so we love it. But there are so many hands which stayed down, so you should check it out. We had more than 60,000 downloads. It's called Infernal Communication, and it's in the top 1% of business podcasts. So this is how important internal communication is these days.
Yes, indeed. Fantastic achievement, and I think it's been a great year for our community indeed. You know, though, that we're also a tech vendor. So clearly, we've also been working on our technology this year. We realize that great communications needs a platform through which you can bring together all of your channels and streamline communications. So in 2022, we did just that. We brought together all of our channels, app, intranet, and email to create one platform that hopefully makes your work more efficient and also enjoyable.
That's right. And since we started that, we've seen a number of analysts from Forrester and Gartner actually supporting that and saying, hey, it's actually critical. It's a critical capability for communicators to have a platform, an omnichannel platform, to bring everything together. And we also see that in our numbers. So we've had more than a 300% increase of customers who leverage the platform over single channels. Now, so this is showing just how important this is becoming for all of you. And we are super happy to welcome so many teams leveraging that capability. Like Whataburger, and I know some of you are here today. Welcome.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Whataburger is one of the most recognized and loved fast food brands in the industry. We know that their team believes that empowering and inspiring employees helps create a great brand and excellent customer fans as well. But in times of rapid growth, of course, there's the risk that employees become distanced from brand and culture. So what did Whataburger do? After successfully using email, they're taking their narrative to the front line by placing the Whataburger app in the hands of employees across the country.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm still looking forward to the first Whataburger in Germany. And we have so many great cases, but one which is very close to my heart is the case of GE, and I know we have a team here somewhere as well. Yes, I think it's General Electric. It's the second time we have you at Voices. And so why is it so close to my heart? I mean, obviously we all know the brand, we all know the iconic powerhouse, but it's such a special time for this company, moving from a single brand to 3 separate companies. It's clearly a new era, and at first this is just a financial transaction, right? It's an org chart change. But we all know that actually it's a big cultural revolution. And every revolution comes with a lot of risk. And in this moment, it's so critical that the comms team says, no, we are fighting for every single employee. And we want to make sure that they are empowered to be part of its change by creating clarity and unity. And we are super proud to be part of that. Now, apparently, they are not the only ones doing great things with our platform. So the whole team at Staffbase is proud to support all of you, and we appreciate all the great feedback we are getting.
Right, and one of the things we've had raving reviews about is the Staffbase platform. So this year we brought you innovations like the new Studio Dashboard, which is a home base for communicators to start their day, get an overview of all of the communications that are happening across their platform, helping you to stay organized and have a bird's eye view of everything. We also launched a revamped editorial calendar, allowing you to plan communications across all of your channels, quite possibly helping you be more organized than ever before.
Yes.
But the fun doesn't stop there. 2023, we have a great feature lineup. So many features, in fact, that we actually need an entire keynote to cover all of them. So later today, the man, the legend, our Chief Product Officer, Patrick, is going to be on this stage speaking about all of those new features. Yeah, so be there.
For a second, I thought you talk about me, right?
No, it's Patrick this time.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, speaking of new features, though, I know we have one breakout innovation that we really want to highlight today.
Yes, that's right. And you might have seen it. We launched it last week. It's Staffbase Companion, our AI assistant for communicators. And we are very excited that some of you have already joined the beta list to try it out. Now, AI is the thing, right? We just heard what AI can do. We will have Frank on stage talking about AI in a second. Everyone's speaking about it, but we wanted to be intentional about how it can actually provide value to you, right? How can it make a difference, and how can it support you in your day-to-day? Now, what Staffbase Companion does is it helps you optimize your work as your personal editor. And it is supposed to take out the pain of some of those routine tasks, like creating summaries, teasers, or headlines.
Yeah, we actually know that our own Staffbase internal communications team has used the Companion, and one task that they have is creating newsletters. So they'll create summaries of different articles that were in our intranet. And we know that that task in the past used to take them 1 hour of work. With Staffbase Companion, though, it takes them 1 minute. So you could say it's revolutionizing the game for us, and hopefully also for you.
It does indeed. I mean, let's just pause for a second. 1 hour, 1 minute, that's massive. It's absolutely massive. And this is just the start. We are just getting started. So I think we should pause here and take a minute to recognize that with the rise of AI, this is a career-defining moment for communicators. It's not just what it will do to your workflow, how it will support you, but also about the challenges this creates for comms people and for their companies.
Yeah, that's totally true, especially when we consider the impacts of generative AI products like ChatGPT that are completely changing the landscape for writing professions. think the question that everybody has, but nobody really wants to ask themselves is, will we all lose our jobs?
Yeah, and I mean, will we all lose our jobs? I think it's a question we have to ask. The answer is no. The answer is clearly no, because there's something your companies need from you right now, which is super important, and they need you now more than ever. Let me explain. So there's a tsunami of change coming, right? So we have polarization in society, we have demography, war, climate change, supply chain challenges. You know all that. And I could go on and on. What this creates is a lot of pressure on comms teams, but also on the companies and the workforce.
Yeah, and that pressure in companies can be seen in a lot of different ways. So if we think about the transition to hybrid work, for example, that many of us are dealing with in communications, global reskilling campaigns in response to some of those changes, or just the fact that products and services are becoming obsolete at breakneck speed. Actually, we know that 40% of CEOs don't think that their company will be relevant in 10 years.
Wow. I mean, Lara, I'm not one of those CEOs.
That's good. Job security, good, good.
But I clearly see where they are coming from. I mean, what this all means is that companies have to change. And that's a huge challenge. It's a leadership challenge. And we all know that great change leaders have to be great communicators.
That's exactly right. If you think about leaders like Michelle Obama and her tireless work for women's higher education, or Steve Jobs and his turnaround of Apple, or Greta in her evangelism for environmental change, all of these leaders created movements with their messages. You might sit there thinking, I'm no Greta. I don't stand in front of parliaments, I don't draw crowds of thousands, or impact policies.
Yeah, I think you don't have to be Greta, but this is still about you, about communicators. Because great change leaders have to be great communicators, and great communicators are leaders of change. Right? So you already have that power today. This is what you do day to day, right? You enable people to be part of a change. So will our jobs be disrupted by AI? Of course they are. Right? 1 hour, 1 minute, of course this brings massive change. But are we losing our jobs? No, because there's something AI just can't do. We believe it's time for communicators to stop reacting and start inspiring. We believe it's time for us to dream bigger.
One of the best examples we know of dreaming bigger are our friends over at DHL. Yes. DHL, if you didn't know, aspires to be the world's employer of choice, and that also in a really tough industry. So 5 years ago, they set out to do just that. They put communications at the center of their digital workplace, creating culture and connection for 600,000 global distributed employees worldwide. Since they launched the platform, they've reached an employee engagement rate of 84%. That's 13 points higher than the global median. They also, since then, achieved their ultimate goal of winning the Employer of Choice Award in 2023.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I find so stunning is that they show that dreaming bigger is not just a mindset, but it's actually an active choice you make. And it's about having a goal and taking the concrete steps to get there and measure your success along the way. Because a dream without a plan is just a wish. Now, what we see is that the problem with many comms teams is that we all know our goal somehow. We want to inspire people, we want to bring change, but that's not an easy task. And where to start? How can you measure it? 6 out of the 10 largest automotive companies on this planet are Staffbase customers. They are so because they all face the same fundamental challenge. They have to change from gas-powered vehicles to electric cars. Now, you have different challenges in your companies, but I'm sure you have equally big ones. In automotive, the communicators are not the ones who are engineering the new cars. They are also not the ones who drive the reskilling campaign. However, if communication is not done right, all of those initiatives will fail.
That's right. As communicators, we know at its core, in order to create change, we have to move hearts and minds. Yeah. We all know that we make that happen. Or do we? No. We assume that our work helps get us from A to B, but it's easy to get lost in the fog of communications. We take steps like writing a newsletter or creating a video, and we hope that they somehow move the needle.
Yeah, that's right, but how can you know for sure? Just last week, I sat together with a comms leader in a larger company, and she told me that they published 1,000 articles on a strategic topic, but had no way to know the impact. Just think about that. It's a disaster. All that work, all that effort, and we still have no clue if it actually provides value to our company. Staffbase wants to change that. This is why today we are introducing Staffbase Smart Impact. It will allow communicators to make smarter decisions, show value, and drive business impact. It's a really exciting part of our Staffbase journey because this is the result of more than 2 years of research, and it's only possible because it leverages all the parts of the Staffbase platform, the most comprehensive internal comms platform in the industry. We think of it as the Google Maps of internal communication. Lara, can you tell us more?
I certainly can. Okay, hands up. Who loves Google Maps?
Well, I do.
I'm so glad you do. Good. Why do we love it? I think there's 2 reasons. Number 1, it helps us make a plan in order to get where we need to go.
Yeah.
Number 2, as you're in motion, it actually helps you see if you're on track to reach that goal. So let's start with the plan. The goal is to get from A to B. We need a map for how to get there. In communications, obviously, we call this a campaign. It's where you design a narrative and plan activities in order to help you reach a goal. This is the work that you do every day. But we think it's undervalued because campaigns actually underpin everything when it comes to impact.
Yeah, right. Campaigns are more than just a feature in a platform. It's actually the foundation for your content to hit home. And there's a lot of research on this. Right? So we know from especially research in psychology that if you repeat your content, if you repeat the message, if you repeat it over time, this will heavily impact people's hearts and minds. We know that from the University of Texas and UCLA, who understood that message repetition is really effective. So campaigns are the foundation for you to reach your goal. But along the way, how do you actually know that you are on course?
Okay, that brings us back to the second reason, actually, why we love Google Maps, is that it shows us if we're on course and reroutes us if something gets in our way. Wouldn't it be great if we had something like that in communications? After all, you would never drive 100 miles without looking to see if you're on the right track. And yet, that's how so many of us run our comms. So, what we're going to do with Staffbase Smart Impact is give you an overview of statistics tied to posts so that you'll be able to tie individual activities to, stats, and then understand every step of the way what's going on there.
Let's talk about stats for a second. So every comms team we work with leverages data. The most frequently used is reach. So how many people have opened my email newsletter? How many people clicked on that intranet posting? The second thing we often come across is resonance. So how many likes did I get? How many comments did I get? Now, both reach and resonance are important. It's a good indication of how our content lands. However, it doesn't really tell us anything about the impact we actually create. Right? So if we want to move hearts and minds towards the goal, we need to measure something else. We need to measure alignment. And we need to understand this not only in the yearly employee survey, we need to measure it in the moment so that we can see hearts and minds moving with every email and with every intranet posting.
Yes, exactly. So we're bringing that to the platform too.
You're having a hard time with the clicker,
We've got some clicking issues.
You're getting there.
Okay. Yes, we're going to do this using a feature we call Smart Checks. So that's going to be a way to automatically embed surveys into articles that are using Smart Impact campaigns. What it'll do is it'll ask employees about alignment, and in that way gather alignment data to help us understand how we're tracking towards that ultimate goal.
And we got some really exciting feedback from our first test groups, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We found actually that the response rate for those surveys was 3 times higher than the amount of visitors that interacted with an article, and 25 times higher than the number of visitors that commented.
Wow. So just think about it. It's a data source right there. It's like a gold mine of data to understand our actual impact of moving hearts and minds. So this can enrich the dots towards our goal so that we understand every step. So we no longer have to drive 100 miles without knowing if we are actually on track. So what we can avoid here is those awkward moments like this. And I'm not talking about the CEO in the picture, obviously.
Yes, yes. We all know, though, that raw data is not enough, and that insights have to be actionable. So what Smart Impact is going to do is it's actually going to analyze that data for you and provide you with smart suggestions to course correct. So you know, for example, that colleagues in engineering have the lowest sentiment, and you'll have a recommendation like to shift your messaging or to plan more activities for that group. Come on, we can do it.
Who needs screenshots, right? We can just explain it, right?
Okay. One other innovation that Smart Impact is going to be bringing is we're going to be moving beyond reach. So today we think posts are measured in reach, campaigns are measured in visibility. So Smart Impact Insights are going to bring a bird's eye view of how each post that you make is moving the visibility needle so that there's no more shooting in the dark. And lastly, bringing things back to the concept of alignment. We're going to take all of the data that you gathered with Smart Checks and look from a campaign level of how hearts and minds are changing over time. So effectively, you'll be able to see your impact clearing the fog of communications. So Smart Impact will bring you 3 things. 1, how campaigns are performing over time. 2, you'll be able to see what exactly you invested. And 3, what the actual impact of that investment was. It's your mission control based on impact.
Thanks, Lara. I think it's fantastic. And I truly believe Smart Impact is revolutionary for internal comms because it gives you that clarity and allows you to take smart decisions, show impact, and be successful. Now, today we talked about the challenges ahead. AI, the macro organization, the economical situation, political challenges, all that pressure on our companies and our workforce. So this is the time for comms to step out of a shadow and dream bigger. Staffbase wants to support that, which is why today we launched our answer, Smart Impact. It's the Google Maps for internal comms that shows you the route and keeps you on track.
We may be living in difficult times, but stars rise in difficult times. Change leaders rise in difficult times.
Right. So let's inspire change, one story at a time. Thank you very much.